problem I'm having with the sound at the moment. We're working our way through it to try and make sure we get this thing organized for you. Well, welcome to a sunny Charlotte racetrack where we have our usual suspects in the Formula V. And let's get some information up on what we got today. So today we're running at the Legends RC Long Track, which is this very, very twisty, turny track you can see on the screen now. Track length is about 1.53 miles. Its track temperature is running at about 74 degrees. And we have a partially cloudy day with a slow, easy wind. And right now our valiant runners will be working their way into their qualifying process, and we should soon start to see some quali times popping up as they start to set those times on the track. I'm going to get the track map up. As you can see, it's that very twisty, turny track map, so we'll show that once guys are running. Once again, Saturday morning, it's good to see you all here. You can put messages into the Twitch stream if you wish, or Discord. I'll be trying to watch both of those. Watching Formula V in the Discord, and on Twitch it is Barefoot Racing, Barefoot_Racing. So you can jump in there and put some stuff up onto the Twitch channel. We'll try and monitor that. And hopefully we will see you guys in there. So it's, as I said, it's Barefoot_Racing. We are live streaming through that. And again, apologies if you're just joining us for the problems we're having at the beginning. For some reason, the sound from the microphone was not working. So we've got that up and running now. So without further ado, let us see if we can have a look at where we're at right now. So you can see the qualifying is underway, and our times are shown right there. Right now our leader is Jason Bice. He has set a 1:24.329, but the times are all pretty close as they're all working their way through getting their qualifying laps in, which is a lot of fun for them to get done. Just trying to see if we can pull that up. All right, Jason is still got the first position there. He's running for pole with Gherkin in a close second. This is about 4/10 adrift. Followed by Harris, Pimluth running a strong fourth, which is good to see. Kevin and some of the other guys back there. Mr. Engelhardt, Mr. Demir, Carter Stickney, Peter Lee, and Thomas taking up the rear. You got my name in there because I went in as a driver as opposed to just a viewer, so I will not be racing and or setting any time, so you can see that there. So we should be good. So we've got 4 more minutes about of qualifying to run before the grid will set. I'm sure the guys are working hard to see if they can get some better times. Let's see if we can see what people are doing. I don't know why that's not working. So yeah, lots of fun. We should see how things go. So far, I'm not seeing any better times being set by these guys, so not sure if we're going to see a much position change as the clock's ticking down. 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes to go. Don't know if any of you were watching the Formula One qualifying this morning, but that was all quite exciting with the stress between our friends from Red Bull Racing and our friends from Mercedes playing out on track, especially on the last lap of the Q3 qualifying, where it was an extremely slow lap by Lewis Hamilton and kind of held up to the point where Perez was not able to set another time. Two minutes to go. Jason's still got the fastest time. Let's see if we can see how many laps he has run. You can see here, it doesn't look like anybody's actually currently running. At the moment. With 1 minute to go for the race start, Jason still has P1. Again, just looking at the weather. It should be a good day. 75 degrees track temperature, so not too hot. 74 degrees air temperature. So it's a cool and cloudy day at Charlotte. And we should be getting ready to get the grid put up fairly soon. It's an unusual track, this. It's really, really twisty, so it should suit these cars quite well. One of the funny parts is that they actually roll in through the what would normally be the pit lane, and that's being used as part of the track. And you can see that some folks roll a little wide, and keep an eye on when they come through there if they bump that pit lane wall. I've seen a couple of them doing that. So yeah, again, it should be a really fun race. Okay, quali is over. So we should be getting now ready to get the grid set. So here's your grid. Jason Bison first, Giovanni in second, Benjamin Harris and Pim Luth make up the second row. Herb and Kevin on the third. Carter Stickney and Gherkin on the fourth. Andrew Thomas and Peter Lee on the fifth. And as I said, the sixth row doesn't exist because I'm not actually racing today. So as we go live, you can see everybody lining up there as they get ready to roll off behind the pace car, which will lead them round to the start-finish line. The pace car will peel off and we'll go racing. And as soon as the pace car peels off, Jason Bice actually then has control of the pack. They should keep their formation, and they'll start the sprint to turn one. So as they say, let's get that track map up so you can sort of see where that is. There's not a big run from the start-finish line to the start of turn one, but you can see where they're positioned on the track. So they're going to have a long drive all the way through all those twisty sectors until they come to the start-finish straight. At which time, just at the beginning of that, the pace car, as I said, is going to peel off, and they will head down to the start-finish line and start their first of two races. This is Heat 1. It's a kind of a neat formula because if you do really badly in Heat 1, at least you know that you've got the feature race coming up afterwards, which then gives you a chance to race on that race and see if you can do better for yourself. So, clock ticks along. We're waiting for the lights to come up. Now, if you see those big puffs of smoke coming out from the different cars as the lights go up onto the screen, here we go. We're going to see them start to roll off. And who's that? That's Harris getting a little out of position there, waiting to get going. I guess he's a little eager to get this whole thing rolling. but they stream off down. As I was saying about those puffs of smoke, when they change gear in these little cars, they do emit that big puff of smoke. It doesn't actually mean anything. It's just a factor or a feature of these particular cars. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with them. So, if you're seeing that, really don't worry about it. So you can ignore it. So you can see now they can make their way down. Jason's got that very smart, very crisp-looking red and white painted car. A lot of reflections coming off of his chrome sides there. Giovanni in the yellow and black, number 141. Pim in the very, again, chrome fluorescent green or electric green, chrome and black. Looking very smart there, helmet matching and everything as we work our way along through the track. Benjamin Harris in the 521 car. Kirk running in the 41 car. Looking very smart there as well. I like some of these paint jobs. They're really doing a good job on them. The 747. This is not a 747. This is a Formula V. You're not going to get that fast. Mr. Demir in the 913. Looking very aggressive with his shark teeth. Carter Stickney in the 929. As they form up, here we go. We're going to get ready to go green, folks. As the pace car peels off, Jason now has control of the race. And he leads them down to the start-finish line. The lights are about to tick to green. And the lights are green. And we are racing in Heat 1 of the Skippy Formula V on a Saturday morning. Now these cars are going to be here's the pit wall piece I was telling you about as they go past. Everybody's through clean so far. Carter Stickney managed to pass Peter Lee. Benjamin Harris passed Pim Luth into third. Gurkin Mungan is running in first place right now. Jason Bison second, Pim Luth in third, Harris in fourth, Engelhart in fifth, Kurt in sixth, Stickney in seventh, Lee in eighth, Demir in ninth, Thomas in 10th, and that is your race at the moment. Now it's a really short track, but it is a very, very active track, so I expect to see quite a bit of movement in these guys. The draft is not big on this track. There's not a lot of places where there's going to be a lot of drafting going on. So it's going to be more down to skill than the ability to suck up behind someone's gearbox and really get a good draft on them. But let's see here. Let's get the intervals up. There you go. We'll get we'll get the gaps up so you can get an idea of what the gaps are. So I'm going to set the best time so far, and the gap is about 2 seconds, 0.2 of a second, but already Pim Luth is being dropped off the back of those front two as they really drive out in front of everybody else. Going very wide there on taking all advantage of all the track they can before swinging it into the left. And what we'll do is and Gherkin went very wide as Jason held the inside and was able to pass him. Nice pass there. Andrew Thomas unfortunately has crashed. Let's see what happened to Andrew. Oh, he just spun it there on the track. No worries, these things happen. And we'll do a lap with Gherkin there. Let's see if we can see what it is from his perspective. So he's chasing down Jason Bice, trying to keep this car going more or less straight as we come down to the final little left-right turn before we get onto the part of the oval here and over the start-finish line. Jason trying to make sure he's breaking the draft, getting nice and wide as we go into turn one. holding that inside line. The car's sliding towards the outside. There's that pit wall. This would usually be the pits where the cars would sit, and this would be the pit exit as they come down here. Take it nice and tight on the inside, let the car drift out to the outside, and then pull it back over to the left as they come into the big right-hand curve. It's a double apex corner. There's your first apex, car drifts out. Here's your second apex. Keep it nice and tight, let the car go wide. Try and carry as much speed as you can through there for braking and coming into this little right, left, right, and then it gets very tight this little bit here. Car drifts again out to the outside, back on the inside, double left apex. Then a little right-hander followed by a left. It's almost like a chicane, this piece here. As they go wide, carry the car in again, trying to carry as much speed as they can. Track dips away from them onto the inside. Jason didn't get such a good run out of that corner, and you can see how Mungo caught up with him. And onto the inside before they get back onto the oval banking, which is just up here off this little left-right complex, which is really, you just almost ignore it in these cars. You just go straight through there and back over the start-finish line as he tries to get wide to get a better run. You can see he's catching up with Jason all the time. He's able to get right up beside him as they're going to go almost too wide. Let's have a look. There's Jason, Bice, there's Gherkin. He's dropped back just a wee bit to let him through. So let's have a look at what's going on. Herb crashed. Let's have a look at what happened to Herb. He's come around here. Car went loose, maybe. No, we want to see what. Here we go. Here's Herb. Sorry about that. What happened to him? He was too wide. Oh, they touched wheels. Caught up with Carter. Got bumped by Peter Lee and into the wall. And then he had to tow. Oh, dear me. Very sad. So let's have a quick look at where we are through the rest of the field. Starting with Mr. Thomas at the back. He's working on, let's see if we can get our track map back up. Alright. There we go. So right now we're with Mr. Thomas. He's lost quite a bit of time because he had to pit, so he'll be working his way back up. But like I say, if he in the next race... Oh, and Jason Bice's crashed. Let's see what happened to Jason. Going into the corner. Oh, and he just lost it on that turn. No, he didn't really crash so much as get a bit of a slowdown for spinning out a wee bit. All right. That allowed Pim to catch right up with the back of Jason and really started to close those two down as Ben Harris is working on the back of Pim. So let's have a look at Mr. Demir in the shark tooth car. He's working on catching up with Peter Lee, who's just ahead of him. You can see him right there in front of him as we come on to running lap 6 of our about 20 lap race. I know it says 250, but I think it's maybe a bit more than 20 depending on time. It's a 20-minute race, so it's how many laps they can do in 20 minutes. So Peter Lee running quite quietly there, working on the back of Carter Stickney, who's just ahead of him by about 7 seconds. That's a lot to get in such a short period of time. Even Jason is 2 seconds now adrift of our race leader. Here we go. Here's our race leader, Giovanni. And 2 seconds is a lot of work to do, but Jason just set the fastest lap of the race as a 1:24.28, which is 6/10 faster than Giovanni. So he caught up 6/10 in that lap. So you can see the gap's now down to about 1.8 seconds. Let's take the interval off. I don't think we need to be looking at that right now. But what might be more interesting is looking at the gain in position. And you can see here that Pim is up by 1, Jason is dropped by 1, Giovanni's up by 1. Harris is down by 1. Kevin has kept his position, hasn't gone forward or back. Right now, our 2 hard chargers are Carter Stickney and Peter Lee, who are both up 2 places. Gherkin Demir is down 1. Thomas Fotos is up. Sorry, not Thomas. It's Mr. Thomas is up 1, and Herb is down 4 places. Let's go and see what's happening with Peter Lee. There's Peter, working his way through onto the start-finish straight. And he can see the other 2 ahead of him. And he's probably like absolutely praying that the 2 of them start to fight like cats and dogs. And when you start fighting with the person that's in front of you, you actually can slow down a wee bit and allow people from behind to sort of give a catch up. So here's Carter, who is working on the back of Kevin. And we can have a bit better view from Carter's car as we look at the chase cam. And Gherkin's car crashed. Let's go and see what happened to him. He's coming along, going into the corner here. And this is where Jason also spun out. He might just do a little spin out right there. Yeah, you can see the back just let go. And he did a little skid there. And Mr. Thomas also had a bit of a moment. Similar instance, it looks like, where he just went a bit wide and it ran him off track, spun him around. These little cars are very, very hesitant. While we were looking at those things, Carter's caught back up with the back of Kevin, and he's going to try and see if he can get a little draft. And although I did say the draft is not very strong, there is a good piece of draft down this part of the track. And it's allowed him to just get a little closer in, taking that very tight corner. And you can see, because he drove a slightly shorter track, was able to keep his speed up. He's closed the gap even more. And here's his lap time history between the 2. You can see that Peter Lee is slightly slower than Carter Stickney. And if we go to Kevin's perspective and change the view, you can see that Carter caught up 7 tenths in lap 6 and 6 hundredths in lap 7. So Carter is putting down very slightly faster laps than Kevin. And if he can keep this up, he might be able to pass him. But he got closer and had to just back off. Oh, and he lost it on the corner, so Carter will just drive around him. And how many places is he going to lose? It looks like he'll lose another place to Kevin. Oh, no, disaster to Peter Lee, who just passed him. All that hard work, man, all that hard work. So now Peter is going to be chasing Carter, but he has a big gap to get through as we've passed the halfway mark of the race. Jason Bice just sets the fastest lap of the race. Let's go and see where Pim is. Pim is being pressured now by Ben Harris, who is really close to him, and putting in some very fine laps himself. You can see here that Ben was 3 tenths in lap 6, 2 tenths in lap 7th, and a tenth in lap 8 faster than Pim Luth. So it's slowly crunching that gap between the 2 of them down. You can just see the nose of his car coming through there at the bottom. Gherkin is in the pits. He must have had a little accident. He's probably now going to wait out. Looks like he's waiting out until the next race. All right, so how are things going at the front? So Pim is chasing down Jason, who's now starting to get into some lap traffic, both Jason and Giovanni. And Jason is really clutching the back of Giovanni. That gap is now down to 3 tenths and has been dropping every lap. As Jason again tries to take that very tight inside line. You can see He just set again the fastest lap of the race of a 1:24.1, and is closing all the time because Giovanni is being slightly held up by the lap traffic, who moves over and lets them pass. Very good job there. As they pass Thomas. Good racing going on up and down the field. Let's go and have a look at Harris is chasing down Pim for third. So this is the battle for third place. And he's slowly trying to catch him. Let's see if we can get the gap between the two of them up. There's your intervals. So you can see that interval's really coming down as Pim now comes up towards Thomas, and he pulls out of the way, lets them both through. Really nice driving. I mean, that's one of the great things about this league is, people will move out of the way. Blue flags are not a suggestion or a warning, but it means that you need to pull out of the way, let people through. Easy to do when you're not racing anybody else. A little more challenging when there's a lot of things going on at the same time. Don't ask me how I know that. Yeah. And Jason, who was briefly in front of Giovanni, is now back in second place. But that gap is so close. It's now a matter of who can hold on and be in the right position to take the lead as we go into the final few laps. 15 minutes have passed, 5 minutes of racing left to go in this first heat. So we're doing about a 1 minute per lap. Let's get some lap times up. There are your last lap times. And you can see that Jason is consistently really starting to put in slightly faster laps than Giovanni as that gap gets ever closer. And Jason goes for the draft pass and takes the inside line going in, brakes a little bit. Oh, Giovanni gets put off his thing because Jason broke to let Giovanni go in front of him. Giovanni was trying to brake to let Jason go through, and it all got a bit confusing, as Giovanni is now in the chase position and will be chasing down Jason Bice. And back in 7th place, Peter Lee just got passed by Kevin. And Pim and Ben Harris are still battling away as Ben is getting closer. Oh, so close to the back of Pim's car there. I mean, I'm sure that all Pim can see is that orange car in his thing as he knocks a cone flying. He's trying to keep him behind him. This is the battle for third, ladies and gentlemen. This is the battle for third place. I'm going to jump over and see if there's any info in... Let's see. Is there anything going on in here? I'm just looking to see if anybody's typing anything. Sorry, it takes me a little while to get there sometimes. Nothing in there. Let's have a look and see if there's anything in our Twitch stream. No, nothing in the Twitch stream, so I guess I don't know if there's anybody watching or not. Oh, there's 2 people watching. Well, hello, whoever the 2 of you are. Welcome to the Twitch stream. I'm glad to see that you're here. Jason is now leading the race as he was able to pass Giovanni. But again, this battle is far from over. as we tick down to the last 2 minutes of the race, which should give us about another 2 laps approximately, I would imagine. Laps being about a minute and a half. So it's going to depend really when Jason crosses the start-finish line. Let's see if we can see from Jason's car if he gets the white flag for the last lap of the race, or if he's going to get another lap to run. No, looks like he's going to have another lap. So next lap should be the white flag. And we'll jump to Giovanni and have a look at it from his perspective. So you can see Jason right there in front of him, puffing that dirty smoke at him. You can see from the screen that we're looking through, his visor is a wee bit dirty. Yes, they all have tear-offs they can pull off, but sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Jason obviously dropped a gear there. That's why we get that puff of smoke. You can hear the tires complaining and complaining as they go around that corner. Runs a bit wide there, tucks it in nicely. But you can see the amount of steering input he's having to put into the car to actually keep it going on the line he wants, as these tires are really starting to complain after this beating of about 20 minutes they've had. Time is ticking down. This should be either the white flag. This should be the white flag this time through, as Jason approaches the back. See it from Jason's perspective here. The car in front must be getting white flag, red flag, blue flag, blue flag, blue flag from him. But then again, Jason can also use him as a bit of a draft target. And still don't see the flag fly. Jason does the fastest lap of the race yet again of a 1:24.027. That little bit of draft he would have got coming down that back straight from the, looks like Thomas there, would have really helped. Oh, so wide on the exit there. That car is just sliding towards the barriers. As Jason puts a gap of just over a second. It looks like he's going to be pretty safe now. But Pim and Harris Luth and Harris are really battling back here for the third position. And so let's see how that goes. I'm going to put a different view here so we can get a little better run at what's going on here. And we bring the chopper in and you can see how close they are. And Harris, oh, and they crash! Oh, Harris tries to put the wheel in on the inside as Pim tries to get going and holds up Carter Stickney, who has to brake really hard to miss him. It's pretty amazing that those cars were able to keep going, but Carter now takes 4th place, and Harris is pulling off. He must have some damage to the car, as that was on the last lap, as Jason Bice crosses the line in first, Giovanni in second. Pim Luth looks like he's going to get through in third. Is Pim still going? Pim Luth crosses in third. Carter Stickney in fourth. Kevin in fifth. Benjamin Harris is now out of the race, but still manages to take 6th position. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So let's go back and have a look at Pim's little crash there. And basically what happened is, you can see here, the rear tires are getting a little tired. You're getting a little wide. And then I believe the 521 car got up on the inside. They're trying to get in there, elbows out, for this last lap. And Pim either didn't see him or didn't realize. He touched tires, knocked Pim wide. And there you go. All right. So now we have the feature race. So let's have a quick look at the grid, if I can find where it is. Here we go. So, row 1 is Jason Bice and Giovanni. Row 2, Pim Luth and Carter Stickney. Row 3, Kevin and Benjamin. Row 4, Peter Lee and Herb. Row 5, Andrew Thomas and Gurkan Demir. So we're going to reset and go again. And of course, everybody now has the opportunity to right the wrongs of the first race and see if they can do even better again on this one. All right, I hope I'm coming through to you loud enough. I hope you can hear me okay. I hope you can hear the iRacing all right. And the grid is set, and we are now waiting for the pace car to take him off and let him get going. And there's the results of the last race. Jason Bison first, Giovanni in second, Benjamin third, Pim fourth, Kevin fifth, Herb sixth, Gherkin seventh, Carter Stickney eighth, Peter Lee ninth, Andrew Thomas 10th, and you can ignore me because I'm not actually racing. So, as they get led off by the pace car, they have to form up behind the pace car, and as they come around the corner, Jason Bice will lead the pack away. Let's get the track map up, so that will help see where everybody is. They've got to go all the way around to the start-finish straight, which if you're looking at the track map and you haven't seen this one before, you see the little red stripe that denotes where the start-finish line is. And the beginning of Sector 1. The end of Sector 1 is where the first dot will be at the top of the track map. Sector 2 is from that dot to the next dot, which is at the bottom right of the track map. And then the final sector is from the last dot to the little stripe. So yeah, they all work their way around, warming up the tires, trying to make sure that they get ready for the second and final race of our Saturday morning racing setup. Cars will form back up again, 2 by 2, closing up and working really hard to try not to let the car in front of them get away too far, keep those gaps tightened together to give them the opportunity to keep up with the leaders. Okay. As the pace car pulls off, and Jason now is controlling the field as they all bunch up and get ready to go racing. Let's come down to the start-finish line.
Green flag.
And the green flag flies, the lights are up, and away we go on our feature race. Timing tower up. I don't know why I'm seeing that. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It's just showing me for some reason. I don't know what is going on. I'll just reload my screen. Oh, there we go. All right. And let's see if we can get a bit of a better view. Unfortunately, I seem to be having a little problem here, so not sure what is going on. Oh, and Carter Stickney crashed and Herb crashed. So let's go and see if we can see what happened there. There's Herb in the 747 car. Oh, and they all got a little tight together. Carter spun around, and looks like everybody was able to keep it going and keep going forwards. That's good news, as Jason sets the fastest lap of the race. And we're back. We've got the cameras working again. I think my cameraman went on strike. Very bizarre, that. Let's go and see if we can get a bit of an overview of the track. There's Jason. The blimp is pretty tight today. And Giovanni, followed by Pim Luth. all staying very much closer together this time. Pim is really working hard, but Jason again sets fastest lap of a 1:29.1. Giovanni's on a 1:30, Pim's on a 1:30, but those guys are a full 4 seconds faster. Oh, and Pim loses it a little bit. Holds up, gathers back up the car. He's got a big enough gap behind him that it's not going to hurt him too much, but it drops him off the back of Giovanni, which really makes his job very, very difficult in terms of being able to try and catch him. He's now almost 4 seconds, getting up 3.5 seconds adrift from Giovanni. Almost 4 seconds adrift. As Jason sets another fast lap of a 1:24.4. Pim manages a 1:27.7. And Ben Harris passes Peter Lee. Let's see what happens. And Peter Lee passes Ben Harris. Okay. And Benjamin and Herb crash. Let's go and have a look at what happened to them. So here's Benjamin and Herb coming into the turn 1. What's happened? Oh, and he lost it right in front of him. Oh, that's what happened. And he's able to get the cars going. Both of them were able to get away clean-ish from that and keep their race rolling. Brilliant racing, however. It's amazing how resilient these little cars are. And so our race running now is Jason Bice in first, Giovanni in second, Pim Luth still holding on to third, Peter Lee in fourth, Ben Harris in fifth, Herb in sixth, Kevin in seventh, Carter in eighth, and Thomas is in ninth, and Gurkan Demir is in last place at the moment. Is Gurkan going? No, I don't think he is. Neither is Mr. Thomas. I think they're both actually out of the race. Oh no, Thomas is in the pits. Carter Stickney. What is going on? There we go. I don't know why that moved like that. Carter Stickney's about a lap down, but I believe he's out of the race right now. So we'll go to Kevin in the 41 car, who has a lot of work to do to catch up with the group in front of him. But Harris and Engelhardt are battling away here for sixth place. As you can see, they're working those cars, the 521 and the 747. 747 is such a misnomer for these little teeny tiny cars. Nice racing going on. Let's go and see how Peter's doing. And Peter is just kind of hot lapping on his own right now as he comes up onto the start-finish straight and heads down to cross the line. He can see Pim in front of him. Peter's just done a 1:26. Pim did a 1:25 on his last lap. So Pim is really setting some good times here. Trying to catch up with Giovanni, but Giovanni is about a full second faster than him ahead right now. So here's Pim, and you can see he can't quite see Giovanni ahead of him, who is about 2 turns in front of him as he is now probably feels like he's hot lapping his own. But Peter is working hard on catching up with Pim, so there might be some good racing going on there as well. Speaking of Giovanni, he is working on catching back up with Jason Bice and see what happens there. Pim obviously had a little spin again, as so did Kevin, but managed to keep everything going forwards. Really did mess with their lap times. Jason has a lock on this race. He really does at the moment. As he has on most of the races we have. He's currently the points leader in the championship. And I believe I heard a quote from him that said, if he could take this car to bed, he would. He really loves this little car. So let's talk about some of these folks. We talk about Carter Stickney. Carter, who is currently out of the race, unfortunately, I think. Is he in, or is he in the pits? Where is he? He is out of the race at the moment. So sad to see that. Mr. Harris. Where are you? Here we go. Mr. Harris is chasing down. Is being chased down by. No, he is chasing down Mr. Engelhardt. And he is apparently, I've been told, he's added an extra smoke machine to the back of his car. There you go. You can see it in action. Most cars just give 1 puff of smoke. His car gives 6. And he's done it to try and annoy the drivers behind him. So that was Mr. Engelhardt. Mr. Engelhardt did that. Mr. Harris, however, is working on putting windscreen wipers on his helmet to try and clear the mess that he's getting from the cars in front. As Peter Lee is being caught now by Herb, who is putting down pretty good laps. Needs to get about another 4/10, but that gap is slowly closing. It's about a 2-second gap right now. Peter Lee is, as you can see, running in the Team Jason colors. Let's see if we can get a little closer look at some of those colors as we look from the right rear suspension of his car. If you go and jump there, you can see the colors of Team Jason. This was formed when Jason was a coach to them, to himself and Pim Luth. Obviously, Jason did not teach them all the tricks that he had, otherwise they would be nearer to Jason than they are. But both he and Pim used to train together, and he is now working on catching Pim, which he looks like he might be doing as Pim leaves a cone in the middle of the track to try and slow him down and confuse him. Speaking of Pim, he is rocking some new colors, a new color scheme. This lime green and matte black, I think, which works really well with the Formula V logo on the front there. And you can see the Sunday Night Skippy logo sitting proudly there on the back of the car. So there's another view we could see of the car. You can see the chromed lime green there as well on the inside of his car as he comes up into turn 1 and takes it really well, lets the car drift out towards that wall. You have no idea how close to that wall they're getting. We'll try and see if we can give you a view of that on another turn, on another corner coming through the lap. But they do get quite close to these walls at times in these little cars. As they're turning, they're sliding, they'll turn and the whole car just drifts across the road. Andrew Thomas has crashed, unfortunately. He went off track and got back on. Let's have a quick look at Andrew Thomas. I don't know why we're not looking at Andrew Thomas, but we're supposed to be. There we go, here's Andrew. I think he might have just spun out slightly. Ran a little wide. Yeah, there we go. Lost the back end of the car, and it just spun out on him. Back to Pim. Let's go and see how Giovanni's doing as Herb passes Peter Lee for 4th place. Not sure how that happened. But, let's go and have a quick peep at that pass. Oh yes, look at that. Herb is right up behind Peter. Takes a nice inside line going into the corner. Peter's a little wide, and Herb is able to snatch that position for him. Well, nice pass there, sir. So Giovanni working on Jason Bice. Let's get us back live racing. And Giovanni is just a wee bit adrift now of Jason. I'm not sure if he really has a chance of catching him. as we come down to 6 minutes to go in the race. Again, this is another 20-minute race, so ignore the numbers of laps. It's a 20-minute race. And for those of you who haven't watched this before, you might be a bit confused. The race finishes after the lead car crosses the line. Now, if the lead car crosses the line at, let's say, 19 minutes and 59 seconds, it adds another lap to the race. So he'll get the white flag the next time round, and then the finish flag the time after that. I believe I'm correct on that one. But we'll see if we can figure that out. So where are we going to race? Let's go and have a look at Mr. Harris. As you can see, Mr. Harris is looking at the back of Peter Lee's car. Peter Lee is looking at the back of Herb Englehart's car. And Herb is looking at the back of Pim Luth's car. In terms of charging, both Peter Lee and Herb are up 3 places. And everybody else, Jason Weiss, Giovanni and Pim, have all stayed in the same position from the beginning of the race. There we go, a nice view of what it looks like from the driver's perspective on the track as we come down over the start finish line. Meanwhile, up at the front, Jason Weiss is just walking away with an almost 5-second gap now between him and Giovanni, who's chasing him. You can see here the positions gained, and let's have a quick look at the intervals. Oh, we've got the intervals up already. So let's have a look at their top speeds. So you can see these cars are not particularly fast. Jason and Peter Lee both have the highest top speed of about 90 miles an hour. So yeah, they're not a really quick. All right, as the time slowly ticks down with less than 4 minutes to go, Jason is now 5 seconds ahead of Giovanni. Giovanni is 15, it's probably about 10 seconds ahead of Pim. But Pim is got Herb all over his gearbox right now, as Pim takes a nice clean inside line. It's a good push off of that corner, but Herb is challenging. And this is the fight, ladies and gentlemen, for 3rd place. as they come onto the start-finish straight. Now, I don't know if you know it, but Peter Lee is actually our Dutch contingent who resides in the southern states of the USA. But a proud Dutchman there, and used to being close to underwater. As Herb gets very close to the back of Pim. Oh, and they almost touch. Wow, that is some close driving there. Let us hope that these two keep it clean. There's no dive bombs. He's looking to get a wheel in there. Clock is ticking down. 18 minutes elapsed. 2 minutes to go. Jason is coming up to put another lap on the record book. And as these two... Oh! They touch. And that spins. Oh, and look who's coming through. Look at this. As Peter Lee is now coming through on the inside. Quite quickly followed by Harris. As they push to see if they can... Oh! And he spun... Who's that? That's... I'm sorry. That's Andrews Thomas who spun right in front of them, which has slowed them all down a little bit. But... Oh! And it gave Herb the opportunity to get back in front of Peter Lee. So Herb is now in 4th, Peter in 5th, and Ben Harris is in 6th. But they're much closer together now, and let's see what happens with less than a minute to go. 19 minutes. Where's Jason on the track? He's far enough away that he's going to come down, and I'm not sure if this will be his white flag lap or if this will be the final lap of the race. Anyway, let's go and see if we can see. Watch for as he comes around. As Jason comes around the final few turns. Here he comes, Jason Bice, over the start-finish line, and it's on his final lap of the race. This will be it, folks. Oh wait, no, I don't know. Maybe not. That might be. We might have one more lap after this one. We'll have to see. I did not see a white flag, but then I wasn't actually seeing the flags being flown anyway, so a bit weird. And Andrew Thomas crashed. And how are we doing here? Here's Giovanni. He's doing his own race for Speed Asylum Racing there. Pim in strong 3rd. Herb in 4th. Ben Harris in 5th. Peter Lee in 6th. Kevin in 7th. And we got Thomas and Carter both a few laps down, taking 8th and 9th. Jason Bice coming around again. Will this be the final lap of the race? As he comes up, crosses the start-finish line, and it is the winner, Jason Bice, setting a new lap record. Quickly followed by by Giovanni, sorry, and Peter Lee, Pim Luth. My bad, I'm getting it all wrong today. Pim Luth coming up around the last couple of corners, taking another 3rd position finish. Well done to Pim. Herb in 4th. Oh, Pim gave up 3rd. I don't know why. Herb passed him on the line. Let's go back and have a quick look at that. That is very peculiar. What is going on? I don't quite understand that. But for whatever reason, Pim gave that up on the line. Huh, we'll have to see if we can have a word with him and find out what on earth was going on. In the meantime, let me give you your results for the race. Here we go. Jason Bice in first place, Giovanni in second, Benjamin Harris in third, Pim Luth in fourth, Kevin in fifth, Herb in sixth, Gherkin in seventh, Carter in eighth, Peter in ninth, Andrew Thomas in 10th, and you can ignore me because I was not racing. I was rabbiting at you for hours on end on a Saturday morning. So let's see if we can get anybody to come and chit-chat with us. I'm going to see if we can pull Pim in, because I do not understand what on earth happened there on that last race. That was absolutely insane. So, hey Pim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Dude, what happened on the line?
Sorry, tell me.
I don't know. You didn't cross the line and you got passed. What was going on?
No. I got third.
No, you got fourth.
Ah, really?
Yeah, you stopped before you crossed the line, and Benjamin Harris passed you.
Ah, oh, that's too bad.
Wait. What's going on here, man?
For me, it's sad actually that I was third.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah.
Very
I'm not
strange.
sure. I thought I passed the line already. But oh man, I was already dead after the first race, after the fight with Benjamin.
Yes, that was quite the fight there.
Yeah,
quite the
awesome
fight.
It's he's such a clean driver, so I knew like we could do a lot of things, and I did think we hit at one point. I'm not sure what exactly happened.
Yeah, you had a couple of bumps.
Yeah, did you saw the one with Herbert?
Yes.
He was so fast. What was going on? Because I had no idea what if it was my mistake.
You'll have to watch the feed.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I'm always looking forward to that.
But yeah, it was a good race. I mean, I enjoyed watching it. I'm trying to see if I can find where Herb and you touched. But yeah, there was quite a few little touches in here that pushed people wide or whatever, or spun them around, but they seem to get themselves back and get going. I'm quite surprised at how strong these cars are.
Oh yeah, no, they're little tanks. They're definitely little tanks. I do have to say I have a new mantra in my car. I think the last 10 minutes I was just singing, "Just don't spin, just don't spin, just don't spin," and I think that worked because I got the third, or I thought I got the third. Maybe I got the fourth, but I had a really fun race. It was really fun.
Well, I'm really glad you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to watch. Of course, Jason walked away with it once again.
Oh yeah, no worry. Yeah, suddenly we don't do any reverse grids anymore. I think we need to discuss that with him because he needs to have some competition going on.
Well, I've got him in the interview standby, so I'll pull him in and have a chit chat with him. But I like the livery of the car, mate. It looks really nice.
Thank you.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye
bye. And that was Pim Luth, who was in third place and got passed on the line for fourth. And now I've got Jason Bice in the booth. Jason, can you hear me? Jason, hello.
Hey.
You're a bit muffled, mate.
Let me check my audio real quick.
Yeah, you sound like you're speaking through a glass of water or a bottom of a fish tank or something.
There we go. How's that?
That's much better. Well, congratulations on yet another win.
Yeah, thank you.
You just took control of both of those races and decided that you were going to stamp your mark on them.
I don't know about the heat. I was telling Gio, he had me sweating bullets in the heat. So he had a mistake fairly early on, which let me pull ahead. He had some great passes, and I figured, I could battle him, or we could just ride out the heat and see what happens at the end. But I got lucky. He made a mistake. He collected himself real quick and was right back on me. And then I had an even bigger mistake, and so I spent the whole heat just trying to catch him. So the standings there may not tell the whole story, but he definitely was putting some great laps down. So.
Oh no, there was some great fights all the way through the field, and I think that there were some very good races. Quite a few bumps and bashes, so I think the stewards are going to have a bit of work cut out for them after this one. But
It's a tough track. It's
it
just
is.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how were the tires? Because it looked to me like towards the end of these races, the tires were really starting to let go.
Yes, yes. I didn't notice that so much in the heat, but in the feature, with about 3 laps to go, I instantly felt like they fell off a cliff. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't dig in for anything. So I had to take a lap just to let them cool off. I was afraid that I'd make a mistake at the end. So yeah, they dropped off a cliff.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, it was great racing by everybody. A lot of fun to watch. Another one in the books for you, keeping you well ahead of everybody else at the top of the league. You'll have to talk to Pim because for some reason he didn't cross the start finish line before he got passed by Herb Engelhart.
Oh.
And it was like I saw Pim, and I'm like, and Pim's going to be third, but wait, no, he's stopping. Why is he stopping? And then Herb just sailed past him.
Oh no. Did Herb get a black flag on that?
No, Herb passed him, legitimately got third place.
Interesting.
And Pim was running
Yeah.
third the entire way through the race and having some good battles with Ben Harris, and I thought he was going to keep up with you, but he spun a little ways in. He was behind Giovanni, and he spun, unfortunately, and lost the back of Giovanni. But if he had kept there, I think he would have been much closer towards the end of that race. He's starting to do very well in these cars.
Yeah, people were really starting to pick up some time, and like I said, it's just such a technical track. One little mistake, and best case you bleed a bunch of time on that lap. Worst case you go spinning off the edge of the track. Even though there's a lot of runoff there, the runoffs tend to fall away from the track, and so the car can get away from you real quick when you cross that threshold. Um, it's it's been a fun track, but I'm looking forward to whatever we're doing next week.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the track will be next week. I'm seeing if I can quickly pull that up.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head either.
My screen. No, I've been having a few little issues with the
Oh, we're at
computer
Summit
thing.
Point.
Summit Point. There you go.
Yeah, that'll be really good in this car. That'll be great.
So next Saturday morning, Summit Point. That should be fun. We'll broadcast that again. But we've got races tomorrow coming up. The Skippy
Yes.
Formula SF2 and SF1 races. That should be
at Red Bull Ring, I think.
at Red Bull Ring. So they should be eventful, fun races, I think.
Yeah.
What
yeah,
are your thoughts
I've-
of the Red Bull Ring?
It's tricky in the Skippy because it's a mile wide, and I'll be honest, I've not run the track in the Skippy. I've only got a few laps in it in a couple other cars, so I don't know it very well at all. But my first thought when I ran it was, wow, this is going to be draft central in the Skippy. So it'll be interesting to see how everybody deals with that tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to watching the race because that creates its own animal. Just trying to manage the draft that everybody else has on you.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it also has some very tricky off tracks, and it's very, very easy to pick up your, more off tracks than you're allowed and get DF'd out of the race. Don't ask me how I know this.
So is this one of the first tracks where they're trying the new track limit system?
It is, and in fact, when you run the software to allow you to race, you have an additional tab at the bottom where you usually have like the entries, the information, and all the rest. There's a new tab called Race, I believe it is, and when you click on that, it shows you where all the off tracks actually are.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to fire that up and take a look at it. I haven't been in a Skippy all season, so it might be good cause to hop in and see what that's all about.
Yeah, have a quick look at it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, look, I'm so good to talk to you. It would be
Always.
nice to see if we could get a few more folks to race in this league, but it was good to see the 10 cars that were there, and look forward to next week.
Yeah, we were missing a couple regulars, and I was really looking forward to Conrad running. He and I have been in a pace battle all week long, just going back and forth on the leaderboard. So I was really hoping that he'd be here this morning. I don't know if something came up, but I think he was planning on it. And then we're missing a couple other regulars. I think Moffitt was out, and we were missing Ray Bartnikowski as well. Maybe a couple others. But I think when we get a full grid of all of our V participants, we'd probably have about 15 or 16 on the track. So hopefully we get that one of these days. I think that'd be a good race.
Absolutely. All right, mate. Take care. Have a great rest of your Saturday, and maybe we'll hear you on Sunday.
Thank you. You too. As always, thanks for the broadcast.
Not at all my pleasure. Take care.
You too.
And that was Jason Bice, your race winner of both the heats and your current championship points leader. And we're going to try and work on getting those championship points put up for you, so we can see if we can get those rolling for next week. But what a fun race we had tonight. And again, if you are looking for something to do on a Sunday evening, the Sunday Night Skippy will be racing, and that will be broadcast on CavOK Racing Network. Information is CavOK_racing, I believe, in his Twitch channel. It's also simulcast on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch it there. And yeah, we hope you guys will enjoy that, and we will see you next week. Take care, everybody, and goodbye from me.